My name is Evelyn Bailey Wisham, born and raised in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Went to New York to go to nursing school and worked a year beforehand. Had a scholarship to Spelman, but I didn't want to be a school teacher or a social worker. No offense. I wanted to be an RN, which gave my daddy a fit because he'd never seen a black RN. But that's okay. You know, you have to do what you want to do. And hopefully the guest of honor has had that same privilege. Her dad, Clay Wisham, and I tried to give it to both she and her sister. And as you've heard me say, Lorna is my daughter. She is the oldest daughter, okay? And sometimes she's more like my mother, and I do not care which way she comes at me. It does not change the situation. But I'm here at her request to, I guess, let people know what she was like, who she is, or something of that nature. This is called Lorna Doone. These are cookies. Unfortunately, I had to get this size box because that was all they had at Eagles today. But I like the word Lorna, and I saw it for the first time in 1957 when I was working as a cashier at Montefiore Hospital. That's in the Bronx, New York. This is prior to going to nursing school. And I'd never met anybody named Lorna, and I thought it was an absolutely beautiful name, and if I ever was fortunate enough to have a daughter, I was gonna name her Lorna. So here she is. That's where her name came from. It's just like my name, Evelyn. I never knew anybody named Evelyn until I went to nursing school, okay? So, but I love Lorna, just like I love Lorna Doone cookies. Lorna's father and I got married in 1964, September, and by November of 65, I hadn't had a baby. I wasn't pregnant. You don't have to have kids if you don't want them, okay? And he tapped me one night, look at her face, and he wanted to know why we didn't have any kids. And I said, "You want a baby?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." I got out of the bed and went and got my calendar, and I came back. I said, "Okay, this is when we can get pregnant," because I'm on the birth control pill now. And it works if you take them, okay? But I'm concerned that anything that's powerful enough to stop ovulation must be doing something else. And I want a healthy child. I didn't care whether it was a boy or a girl. I preferred a son. But, I just wanted the child healthy. So I said, okay, in 2 months, I wanted to be off of them. In 2 months, we'll start working on Lorna. In the meantime, you have to do what you have to do, because I don't want her for the next 2 months. And so that's how it worked. And just like clockwork, she agreed. There she is. Plans can work, if you're sincere and serious and care about the total picture, not just having a baby. I wanted a healthy child, okay? So, and that's what we got. She came, and she was a lot of fun. She was happy, she was healthy, and she was active, and, people loved her. She would go to anybody, sit in anybody's lap, and I love to play cards. And so she might be sitting on my lap 1 minute, and my opponent the next minute, and my somebody else another minute, and she'd sit there, and she just be looking and can't play cards to save her soul, okay? I kind of always thought that Clay, that's her dad, and I would have special children because, number one, we wanted them. Number two, we could afford them. Number two, we made sure that they were exposed and educated, okay? So that, because we knew what all kinds of whatevers there are out here in this world. And, life is not always easy. I mean, and her dad is from Arkansas, and I'm from Tennessee. So we grew up in the South, okay, but not the country. But we knew what the odds were. And so you need as many bells and whistles, as he used to say, as you can have in order to make sure that you can strive and thrive on this earth. Okay, so I mean, and my husband played basketball to go to through high school and college, and so we weren't at all surprised that she liked athletics, so she ran track. Okay, and the other funny part about this is neither he nor I could swim. Okay, but we made sure both our daughters had swimming lessons. Okay, and that was a healthy thing to do. Okay, and that's how we moved to Shaker, as a matter of fact, because there's nothing wrong with private schools, but I like public schools. You have more choices, more offerings. Okay, and that's why we moved to Shaker, so she and her sister could go to a good school. She ran track. And I remember at least one time when she and some of her other buddies on the track team set a record. I don't know if it still stands or not at the high school, okay? And it was fun to go and watch her. She also is a ballerina, okay? And in fact, right down the street here, a block away, is the building where we used to go on Saturday for her with Mrs. Gibbs to take ballerina lessons, yeah. And if I had been willing, I mean, I think she could have kind of talked me into letting her go to New York to do more ballerina there, but I just wasn't feeling that, so we didn't do that. But track was good, okay? And she tried to do basketball until I think it was the first week of practice. She had two fingers crushing, break, the ball, okay? So that's the end of that, all right? So anyway, but that's okay. We should have the opportunity to do the things that, or at least try the things that would make us happy and that we can excel at. Oh, she also plays golf. I didn't tell you that, did I? I'm glad she likes it. She's played for a long time. And I understand every now and then she brings me presents, so I guess she wins something, huh? She's kind. She's thoughtful. She likes to be involved. I think that some of the organizations and her job helped with that. She's a Delta. You look at your kids and you hope that they're gonna look at you as parents and get a little bit and be anxious and willing to do some work and to get what they need out of this education system, because it's there. And it's hard not to get an education nowadays if you want to survive and thrive, okay? And that's just about what we always said and thought, and it just seems so natural. Trying to think of a better word than fantastic, but none are coming. The only thing about this that I wish were different is that her dad was here to see it, okay? Because he loved her. He didn't call her Lorna, he called her Biggin. Okay, she's not a little child, okay, she's Biggin. And he called her younger sister, what do you call a truck?
Tank.
Tank, that's right, Tank. I knew it was something, okay. He make up names for you, okay. But the thing was, we were happy to have him, happy, proud, and to see these honors and recognition, it's fulfilling for me as well as for her. And I know her dad would be proud, And if I were the type that believed that, all the spiritual stuff, he's probably somewhere smiling, okay? So it's okay. It's nice. It beats some of the other things that I have friends and coworkers whose kids have been through, and they're not happy about it, okay? I'm proud to say this is my child, okay? I'm proud her name is Wisham, because it's been other things at times, and her face might tell you she doesn't want me to say this, okay? But she always went back to Wisham, okay? It's a name that is, if you say it, everybody gets a picture. Lorna's a hard worker. She's thoughtful, and she'll give you her last. Okay, and I'm sure she's involved in organizations that are helpful, thoughtful, that will help others achieve and realize their goals. You know, that's how she's been brought up, is that, you know, you have it, but it works better if you share it, okay? And so do something to help other people and something to make our world better. And I'm not sure, but I think a whole lot of us think we could do a whole lot better right now. Lorna Doone, you're one of a kind. And I was lucky enough to have you. I don't know that anybody else is as blessed as I am, but I want you to know you are special. You always have been, you always will be, and that's part me, and maybe a bigger part is from your dad, Clay Wisham. We are so proud of you. I mean, I can remember pictures of the two of you when you were at City Hall, and he's sitting down at your desk with your pens and your nameplate in front of him, and he's just a grinning, okay? And if you thought he was grinning then and happy then, I can't even imagine how wonderful this would be for him to be a part of. And I'm sorry he's not here, but he's here in you, okay? Because you are so much a part of him. You are so much like him. And I know we all loved him, and I'm thankful for his foresight and that I was smart enough to listen to him when he said he wanted a baby, and lucky enough that it's Lorna Wisham.